This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. What we're talking about today is seed retention, how you're supposed to feel throughout the journey, and basically why are we doing this seed retention thing. And let's start with the people who've just basically found out about seed retention. They want to get started. They don't really know or believe that there are tons of benefits to it. And what happens? Okay, so basically they've seen this video and they're like, man, I'm gonna just try this out for 1 month. I don't believe it works, but I'm just gonna go for it. And they basically try out seed retention. And they go for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, maybe they go for 7 days with no ejaculation and no sex whatsoever and no porn, and now they're beginning to sweat. Not literally, but they're beginning to become anxious. They're beginning to become like, they don't know what to do with these emotions. They're becoming so horny and it's like, oh man, I just need to do something. I don't know what, and they're like freaking out in their heads. And this is not how you want your life to look like for the rest of your life. Like, just because you can't have sex, or just because you can't masturbate, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to be freaking out in your head. It's ridiculous to be thinking like that. So let's say you actually manage to get through the first 7 days, 8 days, and then you get to 14 days. Let's say you get to 21 days, and then things get even worse. Like, you thought what was going on the first week was crazy. Now you can believe the second and the third week is gonna be absolutely worse than that. Because you're gonna be all over the place emotionally. You might have, like, there's some guys out there who struggle so much that they become violent. And they become like, start raising their voices at people. They become annoyed. They become angry all the time. And they're just like, they're not themselves. And they like, I've heard guys who basically said that, that semen retention thing, that doesn't work, okay? That's like, you just become crazy throughout the whole journey, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? It gets worse before it gets better. Think about it. It's not bad that you're becoming horny. Becoming horny is amazing. In fact, you want to be horny all of the time. So why is it a bad thing that you get horny during the first month? It's because it's a massive shock to the system. It's a massive shock to your body because your body wants to get rid of it. It wants to release. It wants to ejaculate. But you're not supposed to. You're supposed to get through those first 30 days at least. What happens at 30 days? Well, for some guys, they begin to see or feel that, okay, the levels of horniness is basically now beginning to decrease. Okay, so they're like beginning to have more control over what's going on and more control over their emotions. Some guys are still anxious, still have difficulty, and they might have still until 90 days have passed, okay? Some people are like that if they really have a lot of issues with it. But at the same time, those who have really hard issues won't get past 30 days for a while. And they just have to accept the fact and embrace the fact that, you know what, I'm not going to achieve it right away, but I'm going to increase my streak continuously all the time until I get to 30 days, and I'm going to make it happen. Some guys simply manage, boom, they do 30 days, no problem, and they can move on to the next level. But what is it that actually happens after 30 days? Now, you get all these benefits, right? And if you don't know about the benefits, go through some more of my videos or search on YouTube, like what are the benefits from seed retention. But the main aspect that I wanted to clarify in this video is that it's fantastic to be horny. And what ends up happening is that between the days of 30 to 90 days, very often people begin to get some sort of flat line and some sort of decrease in their excitement for life, decrease in their attraction to girls, decrease in everything, and just life sucks. and they're not motivated. They don't want to do anything. They're just lazing around in the house. They're just done. And that's exactly how you're supposed to feel. Why is that? It's because you've been going through this emotional up and down your entire life, most probably ever since you hit puberty, of getting horny and then ejaculation, and then your motivation collapses. And then you get horny again, you get massively motivated, and then it collapses through your ejaculation. Then you go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You want to come to the point where your motivation is constant. It's all the time. You're fired up no matter what. You've got an attitude independent of circumstances, and it just works. Life just works for you. Okay, you want to get to that point, but what is going to happen after 30 days? You're going to have a decrease in desire. And you're like, what? But I'm supposed to be horny. I'm supposed to feel great. I'm supposed to feel amazing. Why are you saying that I'm going to feel bad? That's the tricky thing. And that's what's awesome about it. Your horniness is going to decrease to a controllable level. And that is the key point. Your horniness is going to decrease to a controllable level. And this is exactly where you want it to be. Because in your first 30 days, you couldn't control it. You sucked at controlling it. And because you sucked at controlling it, guess what? You were emotionally all over the place, up and down. You did not have an attitude independent of circumstances, and it was because you were not able to control your neediness. But once your desire decreases, flatline, fantastic, at this point in time, what's going to happen to your libido? What's going to happen to your sexual desires? It's going to increase a little bit at a time again from the flat line. It's going to take baby steps, increasing the sexual desire and normalizing the dopamine levels from all the porn that you've been watching for all those years. Now your brain is going to reboot and normalize to normal, healthy sexual desire levels. And guess what? It's going to keep increasing, keep increasing, keep increasing, keep increasing. But it's going to do it subtly, gently, and in a controllable fashion so you don't have to be all over the place. Because once you get past those 90 days, you know what's going to happen? You're going to feel massive sexual desire just as you did in your first 30 days, except from the fact that you've developed self-discipline and learned how to control those desires, control your thoughts, and control your emotions. This is what's so beautiful about seed retention that people don't understand, is the fact that you're all over the place. You've got sexual desire, no sexual desire. You've got sexual desire, no sexual desire. But with seed retention after 30 days, you get no sexual desire, which is a fantastic thing because you now can control it as it progressively, one step at a time, increases to your all-time sexual desire or even improved sexual desire, but it's constant. It's all of the time, and you're constantly motivated, consistently, and now you can take on success in massive fashion. This is why I tell guys to postpone women as much as possible, procrastinate them. You don't want them in your life at this moment in time. And I'm talking about those that are not married. I'm talking about those guys who are basically thinking about girls. Hopefully I can get a girl to love me. Hopefully I can sleep with a girl, whatever. Get those thoughts out of your head. You want to make sure that you get to the point where you can get girls easily because you're emotionally stable eventually. Okay? You're going to be a rare breed by being able to control your emotions when you're around the people you want to be around. Does that make sense? So let me finish this up by just simply explaining in short terms what I've just explained. In the beginning, right now, if you have not started this seed retention journey, You are needy and desperate. And that is how I started this YouTube channel, explaining about how women broke up with me constantly and continuously because I was needy and desperate. Now, during that time, I was actually practicing seed retention, but I was needy and desperate towards getting married, okay? And that was a stupid thing for me to do, okay? So right now, you're actually practicing seed retention, but you're not trying to get married. You're not trying to get a girlfriend. You're not trying to progress with girls. Not at all. You're actually completely postponing them, putting them completely aside so that you can focus on developing you. Focus on you becoming a leader, focusing on you developing a business team around you, focusing on passive income, focusing on business systems, focusing on your health, focusing on getting your stuff right. And I'm not talking about just for 3 months or 6 months. I'm talking about committing yourself until, let's say, $10,000 in passive income. That journey could take 2 years. That journey could take 5 years. For some guys, it might take 10 years. But to be honest with you, in my opinion, if it takes 10 years for you to do that, when you've massively put aside girls and you don't want to have anything to do with girls until you've gotten that goal done, your life is going to be absolutely amazing forever, starting immediately. Because men have this beautiful capability of being happy without women. We actually can do that. Yes, our joy and our pleasure and all that stuff can be even greater if we're able to lead women the right way and not have the emotional ups and downs of what relationships usually brings. But if you are a leader and you learn how to lead a business team, you can actually learn how to lead women so that it creates a beautiful long-term relationship the way you want to create it. You're basically recreating yourself from being a needy, desperate guy who moves on with seed retention to become a guy who's not needy and desperate anymore, but who desires sex. Okay? Being highly sexed is a positive thing, as spoken about in Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill a long time ago, where he explained that having massive sexual desire is fantastic as long as you're able to control it. And that's what we do on this 90-day seed retention journey. 30 days is going to be all over the place. From 30 to 90 days, maybe if you're unlucky for those 60 days, maybe you'll have a flat line that's going to consistently grow and grow and grow. Your sexual desire will be fantastic at 90 days, and you'll be able to keep it there because you're controlling it. And you've developed your self-esteem, you develop your self-control, and now you feel sexual desire, you feel testosterone, you feel a fantastic connection to your dreams and goals and to everyone around you. That's how you want to live your life. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Let's bring it on. Let's share this video. I'll see you in the next one.